This game recap is brought to you by Manscaped's Foot Duster Foot Deodorant. Say goodbye to stinky foot funk with this essential deodorant spray. Head over to manscaped.com and use the promo code SACCITY for 20% off and free worldwide shipping. The Foot Duster Foot Deodorant by Manscaped. The best protection any place below the waist.
Minkah Fitzpatrick definitely getting the player of the game. I felt like it was a perfect way to tie in because the biggest highlights from that, other than Deontay Johnson catch, was Minkah Fitzpatrick, 14 tackles, that pick six, and also the big block field goal. That was the difference maker in that game. Minkah Fitzpatrick, the player of the game in the Bengals. Steelers. The Steelers do snap a 3-game losing streak to the Cincinnati Bengals. They were swept last year. Joe Burrow had a career high 5 turnovers, 4 in just the first half. The Bengals are now 0-7 when Joe Burrow has multiple turnovers. Aaron, what were your biggest takeaways from this matchup? Give me some from both sides.
Yeah, first from the Cincinnati side, you mentioned the offensive line earlier. Very poor play by the offensive line. However, Joe Burrow can't hold on to the ball the way he held on to the ball. And I know it wasn't every sack was on him. A lot of it was on the O-line. But he held onto the ball too long, not only when he was sacked, but holding onto the ball too long when he was making throws, and that caused turnovers. I don't expect it to continue. I do think he gets better. It's his first action against a really tough defense. And so Cincinnati, I think will be okay. I think they will be okay. Offensive line needs to play better, but when you get new offensive linemen, it takes a while to gel. It really does. And I think that's part of the problem. It doesn't get any easier for Cincinnati next week. Despite them playing the Dallas Cowboys, they're going to have to deal with Micah Parsons, and we'll get into Micah Parsons and how good that man is in a minute. But I thought they played just really poorly, and they still had a chance to win the game, which is saying a lot. They would have been the first team ever to have a -5 turnover differential and still win the game, and it came down to a blocked extra point by Minkah Fitzpatrick. So I think Cincinnati will be okay. Joe Mixon still looks good. Pittsburgh's run defense played really well, and Mixon still 27 carries. Got to love that. On Pittsburgh's side, Deontay Johnson still wide receiver 1, 12 targets, 7 catches. They didn't link up all the time, but he still got the 12 targets. He was peppered with them. I still think he's wide receiver 1. Pat Freiermuth played really well. The tight ends had some really key catches in that game, him and Zach Gentry. Najee Harris and the run game struggled again, and I worry about that. But Pittsburgh, I'm just going to say this. I'm sorry, and I apologize in advance of anything that I may say going forward when you do lose a game. I don't know why I picked the Pittsburgh Steelers to go 6-11. They are not going 6-11. I'm changing my pick right now. Mike Tomlin is best coach in football. Andy Reid's right there. I love Andy Reid. Mike Tomlin is unreal. Unreal what this man is able to do with this team. I don't even want to say anymore. Like, my bad, Pittsburgh fans. My bad.
He just finds ways to win. No matter what, he makes the adjustments game by game, and he schemes up so well against every team. And it's something to marvel at. Yeah, it's something to marvel. Especially, I mean, you look at this game. I mean, Mitch Trubisky, he's not a slouch. Like Mitch Trubisky got a very bad rep when playing with the Chicago Bears, but he's not that bad of a quarterback, and he can go out there and win you games. Like Mitch Trubisky, let's see what he was in the first 3 quarters. He was 11 of 17, 97 yards. Fourth quarter alone, he was able to step up, get 97 more yards, and take care of business against a Bengals team that last year they were in the AFC Championship game. Mitch Trubisky now is 30-21. That was the stat I was looking for. 30-21 as a starting quarterback. It's not bad numbers. That's not a bad record. And you now link him up with Mike Tomlin. I mean, Mitch Trubisky clearly better than Mason Rudolph, and Mason Rudolph took this team to another 500 season for Mike Tomlin. So I might be right there with you and being very upset with my prediction of 6-11 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But they got the job done. Aaron, what's the play of the game here in this one?
The play of the game could have been the Deontay Johnson, but it has to be the Minkah Fitzpatrick block extra point. The game's over if they miss this or if they make this. Cincinnati comes all the way back and wins, and it's a different conversation. Minkah Fitzpatrick blocking an extra point. I know it seems simple. Oh, it's a block extra point. It's huge. The player of the game could also have been the Bengals long snapper, because he's the reason why those kicks were missed. I know we look at the kicker, but those snaps were high. It messed up the timing. Laces never got spun out. And Evan McPherson missed both of those kicks. The extra point was blocked because Evan McPherson had to slow down, and it was a high snap. And then the missed field goal chip shot in overtime was missed because it was a high snap. The laces never got turned. McPherson had to slow down, and he shanked it left because Evan McPherson was not going to miss those kicks. I promise you
money.
that.
Yeah, he's money. He's money. But the Steelers do end up taking this one, and now 1-0, and the Bengals are now 0-1 heading into next week. Like you mentioned before, the Cincinnati Bengals travel to Dallas to take on the Cowboys without Dak Prescott, and the Pittsburgh Steelers will host the New England Patriots.